Hello everyone, my name is Luis Felipe Bertoleto, and today I'll be talking about an ongoing project in our lab that is entitled Neurostress Correlates Induced by Time-Restricted Calculations Measured with Functional Near-Infrared Spectroscopy. Anxiety disorder is a very hot topic nowadays, not only because Brazil leads the rank for anxiety disorders measured by World Health Organization in 2017 with 9.3% prevalence in the total population and more than 18 million total cases, but also because that reflects to 250% of the global average, which is 3.6%. Also, given the pandemics and COVID-19, anxiety disorders were estimated to have a 25.6% increase in the worldwide population in 2020. However, anxiety disorders diagnosis have a very subjective component when it comes to the clinical interviews, which are the golden standard for assessing anxiety disorder nowadays. And this comes with the assumption that the patients have to comply with the clinical interview. So given these multifactorial components that surrounds anxiety disorders, we hypothesize that stress induced by time-restricted tasks will evoke neural, systemic, and physiological changes. And our main goal is to quantify these effects of the stress on the anxious brain of the participants and their physiology and their systemic physiology. Anxiety disorders refer to a very large group of common mental disorders, but for this specific study, we are targeting social anxiety disorders, specifically the performance component, and we perform a protocol that consists of mental arithmetics with time restriction. We build this protocol mainly focusing on four phases. On the first phase, the participant rests for 6 minutes straight, and then the participant perform 5 blocks of non-time restricting tasks, and followed by 1 minute resting state for the physiology of the participant to come to the baseline. And then we perform 10 blocks of time restriction calculations, followed by 6 minutes of resting state. Also, before the protocol, the participants fulfill self-reports questionnaires that we use to assess their anxiety levels. To validate this stress induction protocol, we first measured 11 participants that we used to ensure that our protocol were inducing physiological changes that we were capable of measuring with our current devices and current setup. Our main finding was for blood pressure and heart rate. On the transition from rest to tasks, we saw a very large increase for blood pressure and also for heart rate. We are also analyzing another component of the nervous system activation, which is the respiratory rate and also the exhaled CO2. Additionally, we are measuring electrocardiogram that we can see on the bottom right hand side, a participant transition from the rest to tasks, and we see very large increase in the heart rate of the participants, going from 104 to 145. I'd like to thank everybody that contributed for this study, and I hope to talk a little bit more about that on the personal session. Thank you.